control of Envy as of now. And as we move
Hmm.
towards the side of no Noi, we again do have one more team that is going to be jumping themselves. So for the side of military base, there's absolutely no contestations that can be anticipated as of now because there aren't many teams that have decided to go down there.
Oh, definitely. Apart from Envy, it's pretty much outlandish to say, and we have seen in the past itself. Not a lot of team likes to jump onto the area of military base. Not an easy place to actually have an acclimatization with, because the circle, I guess, 8 or maybe 9 out of 10 times move northern side, and at
Right,
that point
right,
you have
right.
to be spot on with the rotation, and only if you have a mastery in that you better be jumping them yourself into the same vicinity. If not, you better have some certain different replication, as we can get to see TMW jumping onto the area of Zerki. Ferry Pier is where we have the grounders. Sky Sports, no up noise where they are actually positioned. I would love to see if any team actually shows the intent to gatekeep the situation and bridge camp the situation. By the looks of it, seems like we don't have any drop contestation. Whatever be the case, Georgopol is where Northern Georgopol is where we can get to see EV School completely occupied by Northeast Sports. H2E Puchinki is where they are actually positioned, and Freestyles in an early movement with the vehicle with 4 different players using the 4 different vehicle. This is looking too good for them. And as we get to see, the grounders are also separating themselves away and getting all these vehicles on these NH. You have also the glider. That's also an option, but I guess glider that the fast it goes into there, it's where you find yourself on the land itself.
Well. We do need to also bring up the conversation about the side of the team that is sitting at the bottom of the totem pole, not having good games whatsoever at all. And that, of course, is going to be TWG. The team that has dropped all the way northwest towards the side of Zarki are looking comfortable for now because towards that Zarki drop location for their side, they have no other team contesting them. But they need to start bringing in some plays because
Oh
they are
no.
missing out on the opportunities. On the other side, talk about some first blood situation. It seemed like the Doc from X Generation almost was able to pencil down Quoty, but sadly, that has not been the case as of now. So we are going to have to wait a little bit longer for that first blood situation.
The fight is still going in. X Generation was just trying to run down and bring down the players of Team Corti. The fight that started in the map of Miramar is still up for grab for the players, and Prison is where X Generation will be acclimating themselves.
Yep.
970-meter is the total distance, and it's going to be a tough task, to be honest, because eastern side is where they will be making a rotation, and since they have to cross big cities, mansions, shelter, they have to cross it all the way and to the point where we have certain teams sitting in Pochinki. This is going to be a tough task, but close to where I guess it's a steal robbery being made for the sides of Team Corti. Certain vehicles have already been stolen. The audacity has been showed by Team Corti, and I guess that has come from the last two match itself.
Yep, but this time around, I mean, a wonderfully fanned out decision and approach from the side of Koti. They are not going to retaliate or push on to this location of prison from the side of X Generation. They are, they're looking hunky dory. They've got no troubles as of now, at least in the first few minutes of the game. With that, as we move on through from one team to the next, we've got Regicide Insane right here in front of our screens, and this dude is taking the fight with the nade parade being showcased. Where exactly is his team? Yep, his team is also going to be there, and that perfectly set up nade is going to be bringing down money. Not the kind of approach that, of course, Kuresh were looking forward to in this map of Erangel, but that is what Regicide had for them. For now, it seems like Regicide are going to be pushing on along, but thankfully, the perfectly set up um, position from the side of Romeo YT is definitely going to be helping his cause, but in doing so, it is going to be the side of Kuresh who will jump into the compound, and now it is going to be a 3v3 affair between these two teams as the player has been brought on to his knees from the side of course, well, chaos. This is a complete chaos. Right, and with that, we've got chaos theory working in none of these teams' favor. As you see, I mean, look at that nade. That nade did not go where it was delivered and decided to, because it just bounced off of the wall right in front. So a lot of chaos being showcased between this fight between the side of Regicide and, of course, his teammates. Now Vez is going to be trying to get him revived. Nocto has been brought onto his knees. Romeo YT, the dude who was able to get that first blood, basically, has also been brought down. But it seems like, in overall, a lot of damage was brought on from both these teams. But indeed, in the end, they were able to still walk out of the situation. So we've got Kuresh with two players. There's going to be Bilal, who is now going to have to try and decide if he can maybe survive, because he's just a one-man squad and his team has been brought down to a one-man army. So not the kind of approach that
Hmm.
Kuresh had. Same can be said for Regicide as well. I mean, they did walk away with the two defeats that they've got, but
Hmm.
it was a chaotic fight, an unnecessary fight in certain scenario. But overall, as long as they've got the points, that is all that matters. And with that, 6 minutes into the game, we're looking at a team that has been brought down to a three-man squad, and that is going to be from the side of Quraysh Esports for now.
Oh yes, three defeats into the name, and with Sardarji going down, seems like Qureshi Sports have already getting a lot of hammered onto the head. Three finish onto the name secured, and with the Nocto going down, R3GS, you have secured three finish by now. All I want for them is now a passive move is all what I expect. With TG finding themselves in the extreme southwestern side, Primorsk is where they're actually positioned. There is no obstruction either for Sky Sports that are present in the node up now, and also the same can be said for NV. Completely no obstruction, whatever be the case. But I really want to see where Corti are actually positioned. I'm still trying to figure it out. So yes, we have them in the Lipovka. Until school, no team is actually positioned. Certain weird kind of situation we don't see in these sort of circles, team rotating close to where Yasnap Polyana is actually present. We can get to see three teams in the closer vicinity. Just imagine if Stalwart Kamishki teams comes nearby. It's 52 Rage. And extreme rotation going maybe just can go into the favor of X Generation. Yes, this is a safer one from the northern side, but you have to be better prepared for yourself, because there are a lot of team with the same thought process. So if you think that this area is particularly safe for us, there are other team who will be looking for the same and safe viable option.
Definitely, and that again is going to be a lot of trouble for the side of Bilal from the side of Quraysh Esports, because he's just a one-man squad left from the entirety of his team. As they did try and take a fight, sadly did not favor them. They had the compound working in their favor, but Regicide, the way they pushed on along, that was just beautifully set up. And indeed, in doing so, chaos has resulted in Quraysh Esports being dropped down to just this one-man army for now, as you find themselves towards the Gatka region. He's going to be pretty comfortable in the zone, but 8 minutes in, all the teams are also going to be looking to get into that area. As we can see towards the Gatka region, Bilal is all by himself, all by his lonesome. And if we move on down south into the blues, we can see the side of course, Meter Shot making a rotation now, or in fact, not yet, because we still don't see them in the vehicles. So they're still holding that fort, and now the zone has gone really far away for the side of Meter Shot. They need to start making that rotation pretty quick as well. Talk about late rotations coming in. We've got QWERTY doing the exact same thing, where it is a two-man split that the team is playing with. Destroyer and Wolverine find themselves into the blues, but they are in the vehicle, so they're going to be A-okay. As we move on to the zone, though, Ivy,
Oh yeah.
that perfect mountain approach that they've got going for themselves, it is definitely going to be helping their cause. But now we need to see if they can utilize that altitude and height information for their advantage and be able to take the fights to the face of their opponents. And right here, we might have an opportunity for Ivy to be able to deliver that exact same aggressive stance that I'm talking about, because TMW is right across in their vicinity.
Ah, definitely. And around the ruins, we still have Northeast Sports. I just mentioned in the vicinity, TMW. In the same vicinity, we have Ivy. But I just noticed a very strong rotation coming in from the sides of the grounders. So they jumped onto the area of Primorsk and complete western side. Since it's
Yep.
empty, it's no more where we can get to see a lot of collision coming in. They still have a very safe entry. R3G, yes, they were positioned on the southeastern side, but as soon as the circle made a shift, they completely made a U-turn, finding themselves from the southern side. So 2-3 teams will get to see how far do they go. But seems like TMW, they have got a lot of beating in the last two matches, but they are pretty much high with their morale, with the confidence, and that's the way you play. Finding themselves in the foothills of the Georgiapol high mountain that we get to see. We'll love to see if any slam comes onto the face of it. How would they actually secure the fort for not getting breached up?
Well, 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 that is going to be the million-dollar question from the side of the team of TMW. But on the other front, as we did just mention, the side of North Esports is looking very comfortable in the compound that they are holding, as they are pretty much in the center of the zone. 11 minutes in, again, we're looking at a very, very passive approach that is being showcased from the side of the Pakistani region teams as they try and get into the comfort of the zone. They hold on to a compound, and then they just keep on chilling. So that is what the entire day's games have turned out to be, and that is going to be not so different on this third map as well as we get through the 12-minute marker on this map of Erangel. We've got Regicide with Insane and Voltrux out in the open, going to be looking pretty comfortable in that position with all of that taken care of. TMW coming into the fray with some shots, some very far spanned out shots being showcased. And this is where Miracle from the side of 3x was in a little bit of a trouble. But again, I mean, yeah, you've got the 4x dude, but it's, yeah, you just giving away your information. That's exactly what the dude has done. And so it is, well, let's see. Nothing taken away from that, from that decision. But we'll see what TMW is going to be able to bring.
Oh, yes, but we need to see what North Esports has to offer to us. Avenger just getting all the information racked up for the team. They do know that yes, certain team is trying to approach them. That's again a 2-2 split. If we closely look, Wolverine and Destroyer are stuck together with Gravity and Khan in the Dasha that they're just trying to make a move. Team Corti is the one that makes a late rotation in these sort of circles. They are sitting 20% into the circle from the edge of it, and the grounders look at where they're actually positioned. Downtown towards the area of hospital is where they are, and the circle is favoring them. The circle is also favoring the high hill in the southern side of Georgia Pool where IV are positioned. I guess they need not to move an inch. The question still remains how the northern team, we talk about QR that is going to be of Quantum Rage, 52X Rage, and also X Generation 3 teams. They have really tough time if we just talk about it for them. On the eastern side, we have Sky Sports, and since now Circle is away for them, the fight is inevitable, I guess, between Team Corti and H2.
Oh, yes, it is. That is true. Now, again, it is all based on the zone itself, right? The zone is what dictates the fights in the Pakistani region, is what we're looking at. And that is something that, well, now is the moment to shine for these teams. Now is the moment for them to deliver because the zone has gotten these teams so very close. And as you so perfectly were mentioning, H2E, we can see a little bit of sprays being showcased from their side along with 4V TFD's theirs as well. But as of now, we are going to be jumping towards the side of Team Envy's players, as they are going to be, well, not in a fight, but certainly in the middle of a rotation to get into the center of the zone. With that, the second airdrop being brought, that is going to be the LMG. That is going to be, well, available for any of these teams. We still, of course, do have all the 16 teams surviving. We still do have that one final player, that was the Bilal, who is still able to survive towards that Karija, as we can see on the screens right there. So it is going to be 14 minutes into the game as of now. A very passive approach, but just a few more
definitely.
minutes and seconds, and it is going to be time to deliver the aggressive stance. H2E's Dread goes down to the play zone, but Freestyle on our screens are definitely wanting to confirm some points for themselves in this game.
No, pretty close. Wasi
That was close.
with the M249. Pretty close, but he shies away. He makes a U-turn, gets away. I don't really know. Has he been granted? A lot of mercy being shown from the sides of Freestyle. And just imagine if 52X Rage, the same player, starts taking down one by one the players of Freestyle. There was no way that player could have been saved. But yes, there we have it. The fight going up against Ivy and Quantum Rage.
Well, 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 the nade parade being showcased from the side of Ivy is definitely on point. Zaidan, Hasu, as well as Fadi, the way they are just pushing across from one nade to the next against the players of Quantum Rage are looking ferocious. But, dude, that one nade is all it took from the side of Quantum Rage to be able to completely stop the aggressive stance that Ivy were trying to deliver. But, of course, as of now, the revival is going to be confirmed. It is looking like a 3v4 situation where, of course, for the side of Ivy, they best be careful. But serious, look at that, dude. Look at the man with the ball is going to push on along and take the fight to the face, but not for long, because Hasu is going to deliver with that nade parade, completely getting that elimination and knock point for his team. So this is going to get that 1 point from their side, but Zayden in the backlines of Ivy has once again been knocked and brought down.
Definitely a ballsy move came in, but seems like the team was not ready. It was just one player from the sides of Corti that was interested in making a push, but by the looks of it, seems the circle has already shifted away. That means both the team needs to actually retreat away from all these fights. If not, both are damaging themselves equally into the fight. With still 16 teams in the lobby, 58 players still alive, just the 16 minute, they are just heading towards a start where at this point we might expect a lot of fight to actually happen, but seems like neither Quantum Rage nor Ivy are interested to fall themselves away. They have the buggies, they have the Dashias. It's not that they don't have any locomotive way, they do have, but it's just the intent that needs to be showed down.
Well, that intent is definitely going to be showcased from the side of Ivy, where they are wanting to get the kills, get the elimination points for themselves. And in the kill feed, we're looking at the players of 4VTFT taking a lot of fight as well. So now, finally, thanks to the zone, the 16, 17-minute marker, we are looking at a lot of kills being showcased. But on our screens, we only have Ivy and Quantum Rage, and it seems like Quantum Rage has finally decided to back out of this fight. Ivy is still holding on for a little bit longer, but overall, in this entire saga, they were able to walk away with 1 point. That is going to be, of course, Sirius, who was brought down from the side of Quantum, and in doing so, we do have our first team getting eliminated, and that's going to be 52x Rage, thanks to the Grounders.
Oh, definitely. If it's gone down completely. But Quantum Rage here has actually fallen himself away with Ivy not realizing the fact. Now they do know. They have seen a lot of vehicles moving around, passing by them. With TMW again in the situation. If you remember the last match, TMW were in the same situation between two teams stuck again. JD is the one that will be the last one to move away from all these fights. He doesn't have a lot of HP to survive by. He needs to go around all these areas, but far away, it's already R3G just trying to gatekeep the situation. The next can be the one to go down, can be from the sides of North Sports, but this is certainly not the case as now 3X comes up into the fight. IQ has been blown
Ooh.
away. Freestyle this time, they are not sparing anyone.
Absolutely. I mean, this team is very much in control right now, but Spark is definitely cooking up a nade right here from the side of Quantum, and that is going to be lobbed on across to the positioning of Black, and Black was running exactly towards the nade, but thankfully has not been knocked. Or my word, mark my word, and there you go. You got a third party situation, and in the kill feed, you can clearly see it was the Grounders Sensei who was the reason why FS's Black has been brought down to his knees, and now the conversation is going to be Tyrant is so far away, he's
What
definitely not
is he
going to be able
doing
to help
here?
the team. But what
Oh
exactly is
no.
going to be the position that FS will be once this fight is done?
You need all these numbers in all these fights. You know you are in the open, and yes, I understand that flank has to be there, but that flank doesn't has to be that long far that even if the fight comes in, you are not able to make a move and help your team come out of all these situations. 3x Esports makes an exit, a tata bye-bye for them, but there is no stopping for the Grounders. As soon as I say that, seems like JD from the sides of XG is just trying to take up the fight with R3G, just trying to cook up the grenade, comes in and insane. He just get a lot of damage soaked in onto his body, goes down. H2E has made a complete call that yes, we are moving into this fight. Either you survive or we will survive. Seems like H2E have got a lot of dent onto the body to deal with.
Absolutely, mate. I'm loving the zone once again. I mean, if we look onto the map itself right there, we've got the map that is definitely helping the positioning of FS as of now, and Tyrant in a perfectly set up position. But on the other side, talk about Regicide, this team definitely took a lot of blows right here against the fight of H2E, and in doing so, now they are also being brought down to their knees thanks to North Esports' Maxi right here, who is going to be delivering a lot of nade parade party situation against the positioning and compound that Regicide find themselves in. And along with all of that, Quraish Bilal goes down, and that is going to be the end of that team. So 11 teams remaining, 20 minutes in. As we push on along, North Esports are definitely wanting to get a lot more elimination points right here from the side. But will Regicide allow that? Because the time that North Esports has right now taken to make that push against the compound has definitely favored the side of Regicide,
Freestyles.
where they have been able to, well, get those the two players they've knocked, revived, and are going to be pushing on along.
Freestyles to knock. I just saw in the kill feed one in the name against QWERTY and one for Ivy. Freestyle looking in a complete control, and there we have it. R3G making a push onto the players of Northeast Sports. As soon as Northeast Sports made a push, R3G realized that yes, they are also making a movement, but this grenade can just be the detrimental one. Smoke has already been deployed, but R3G need to spread out themselves. If not, they can just go down by either one or two grenade, and seems like Northeast Sports have already cracked the code and have already spotted down and are already tracing down the movement and positioning of the player. Voltrux pretty much close, just trying to engulf the player from the backhand side. It's not the numbers advantage. Both the team are in an equal fair affair with Vaz, Insane, and Voltrux up front. And in the northeastern side, we can also get to see certain teams are also going into the fight. Just 11 teams and 28 players still surviving. We are up to the 21-minute markup, and there we have it. And we going down. JD also falls down. Freestyle just not stopping in this match.
Well. The fight between Meter Shot right there against Envy is definitely not working in favor of Envy, because Envy's player was able to eliminate his own teammate with a nade. So that definitely did not work out for their side. But it seems like that is just what we were requiring. And in that doing so, Meter Shot has also been able to push on along. Now it is going to be a 2v2 situation between these two teams. And this is where we could very well see Meter Shot try and bring in a lot of fights for themselves. On the other front, Envy also trying to deliver a lot of massive blows, because we've got Ahmed and Dr. Fate, the two man who are up on top of this compound. But will it be enough? Because now it seems like Meter Shot have decided to make this conversation and fight into a 3v2 affair, where we can see Mary is going to be given that revival thanks to Halsey. And of course, Ash is just trying to hold the fort against the players of Envy, so that they're not able to walk away from this position. And again, you look onto the map, we've got the team in the center, and that is going to be FS Tyrant.
Goes down. The grenade comes pretty close to where it was actually positioned, and yeah, there we have it. A complete squad Y for Team Envy, and they have been eliminated. 9 defeats already onto the name, and it was Meter Shot that made a push. One player went down. It was Katir, but as soon as that happened, we just got to see R3G getting a lot of taking a lot of player from the sides first, from the sides of freestyles, and then now again to a different side. Team Cordy have got a lot of dent to handle with the Khan and Bulburi out of the position. I guess this time they cannot play with the flank that they had been practicing for a long.
That is true. I mean, playing on the edge, Quoti's two final players right here. Of course, we do have Gravity and Destroyer. Whereas on the other side, if we look on to FS has that one final player, Tyrant, in the smack center of the zone. But alongside that, talk about the numbers. The numbers definitely going to be favoring Red's side with 9 elimination points towards their side. FS sitting at 4 elimination points. And of course, 8 teams surviving in the 23-minute marker. Now it's going to be all out chaos as these teams jump out from their smoke walls into the open.
Oh, definitely. Freestyles getting a lot of finish point rack up to the names. It's just the Tyrant skill still standing. British Shots have a really good chance only if they manage to make a move into the zone without losing a lot of player. Insane has been spotted down. R3G has been looking completely berserk till now. And yes, there we have it. Tyrant secures the knock. And onto that, Corti capitalizes. R3G knows there is someone on the backhand side. And within a blink of an eye, it's just the caster curse. It's just me, I guess, today. Whenever I try to praise any team, any player, they just fall down the next second.
Well, dude, that definitely does happen quite a lot, but then again, that's the reason why it's called the caster's curse. But on the other front, again, talking about the numbers, right? Look at the way X Generation have played it. They've played it real smart, and that is how this team likes to roll across from one map to the next. They've got all 4 players surviving. Then the next team is going to be the side of Forty, and as of now, the Grounders and say is going to be, well, delivered down into the grave of his own, and that is going to be all thanks to X Generation's Jaideep. So now they're utilizing the numbers advantage in their favor. With that, we've got 5 teams remaining. Quantum Rage also getting eliminated. Not looking good is going to be the side of 4VTFT. Numbers just dwindling down in terms of the teams that are remaining here.
Oh, yes, definitely. Quantum Rage completely thrown out of the lobby. All the 4 players standing from the sides of X Generation. They really have a good chance. They missed in the last match itself. They fell down against Quantum Rage, but this time, it seems that there is no other stopping apart from Team Corti. If they play really well with all these 2 players standing, we have still Destroy and Gravity up in the fray. 4 teams, 8 players still standing. The zone is completely favoring the compound where Tyrant is actually positioned. But look at the flank. Look at the audacity with which JD has made a push. But Tyrant knows that someone is close to where he is actually hiding himself. And realizing the situation, he throws a grenade. He hurls a grenade onto the face of JD. And because of that, we just see McLaren shifting away from that position. And this grenade can just go down. But no, it seems that yes, JD is the one who will be pretty quick on his feet.
Well, he definitely is getting a lot of further cues thanks to JD moving on across. But on the other front, it is going to be his teammate. That is going to be the Doc from the side of X Generation, taking the fight to the face of Team Quoti, where two players, Destroyer along with his teammate, were remaining from Quoti, but their information has been given away. And if we look onto the minimap, they are not in the comfort of the zone. The player who is in the comfort of the zone is definitely Tyrant, and Jaydeep is so very determined to be able to get that compound to himself. On the other side, as you move on through towards the Regicide with 11 defeats to this team, insane right here, having a perfect play with 4 defeats that he's been able to accumulate for his teammate. But once again, I mean, look at the zone on the map, and FS Tyrant is smack in the center, looking pretty comfortable. He does not have a what do you call it?
Oh,
Decent
he
amount
misses
of
the knock.
first aid, but he does
Oh
have
no.
all of his utilities with the vest and helmet absolutely pristine condition.
Oh, definitely he has. Might be just the case that he hasn't taken a lot of fight. This time he takes the
Ouch.
fight and he falls down. Freestyle has been completely ripped apart with all the 4 players standing from the sides of X Generation. This is just going to be a matter of second, and there we have it. X Generation finally